It finally happened, y'all. It finally happened, guys. Good things are coming in Dallas. Now Dallas is doing some moves that I think the community can get behind, man. So, as you can tell in the thumbnail of the video, Matt Eberflus, the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys, gone. He's gone. He's out. They fired him, and as many of you that might not know, the when the season ended, they interviewed head coach Brian Schottenheimer, Shoddy, and they asked him. They said, "Hey, what's gonna go on with your coaching personnel?" And essentially, he said, "Well, we're gonna do a 10 to 12 day process and review everything to the fullest." And well, it seems like they wasted no time. They made that decision quick, which I'm very very excited and happy about. It's unfortunate for Eberflus and nothing against the guy at all, man. Nothing against the dude. I'm sure he's a great coach and I'm sure he's a great dude and I wish him nothing but the best. Of course, I don't in the profession that he's in, a lot of it's easy for us to wish for him to be not employed in our current ownership. But in real life, you wouldn't really want that upon anyone else, someone, especially someone you don't even know. But in this term, yeah, I'm happy he's out. Hit the bricks, dog. You can go. You got a sayonara. Out. You're out of here. Um, yeah, so I just wanted to jump on the train because I'm very excited. I got home really giddy because it's like, oh man, this is exciting stuff. And for everyone that doesn't know, my name's Rocky C. I cover all Dallas Cowboys content media. And that's Kiki in the background. Layla is off camera right now. She's next to me. But yeah, as you know, this is not necessarily a TTF video. This is just kind of a solo vid I wanted to make because of the news that popped up today, and that's exciting stuff. That's exciting stuff, guys. It it means it means a couple things. I wrote it means a couple things. Now, the cool thing of them jumping on this firing so quickly, rather than waiting. Honestly, I kind of want to do it. I kind of want to bust the goggles out. I don't know if I should. I don't know. I'll wait. It's like a goblin mask behind camera just staring at me. I want to put them on, but that's tough. That's a little rough wearing the goggles on another man's defeat. That's tough to do. Um, but anyways, Eberflus is out, and now we can begin the hiring process for actual like coaches. Usually Dallas has this issue back in the day, excuse me, where we would take our time with these coaching searches, and as we're looking for different coaches, it would have been like everyone else already got hired. The Robert Salas, the Vrabels, all these dudes, the I guess the Ben Johnsons, but we were never really in cahoots for that anyways. But you get my point. And then Dallas is left to the scraps, like, oh well, Matt Eberflus as defensive coordinator, hop on the train. And he also had ties in with Dallas in the past as well. But I'm sitting here thinking, like, fuck, man, what are we doing in past years? And now we're jumping on it. We didn't even wait 12 days. It's been 2 days. I've read that they finished player interviews, closing out the year for player interviews, and they jumped on coaching immediately. And that was one of the first things they did. That's what it seems like. And I'm very happy because now we can actually, one, the attention can now come to Dallas, say, hey, we need a defensive coordinator. Now, albeit it's one hell of a task because it's we were dead last in everything. Our lead sack player Jadeveon Clowney, I don't like he missed a lot of games and he was one of our best edge rushers, one of our best players on defense year round. Of course, Quinnen Williams, Osa, yada yada, but like he was one of the better, brighter shines. That's better the players that shined, especially in the last game of the year. Uh, But now we can find someone who goes, "Hey, I want that defensive coordinator job." There's some pieces there. Maybe we can get some dudes in there, some old heads. Hopefully, it's not a scenario where it's like, "Oh, this is my friend and I know you and we work together at some point in time. Bring him on in and now you're going to be the next DC." I think Jerry Jones, this move means that I think they're urgent. I think this is going to be different approach, which I'm hoping because usually they play this thing out and wait to the very bitter end, um, just trying to figure out what the hell's gonna happen. Like, so I'm very eager to see now how Jerry and Shoddy do this. And honestly, it was only a matter of time, guys. Like, I'm surprised. Like Trayvon Diggs got cut or way cut released before Matt Eberflus did. What the fuck? That's crazy. And I know a lot of speculation is like, well, why release Trayvon if Eberflus is gone? Maybe, the next DC comes in and now, Trayvon will be as a key part. He's one of the dudes we paid a lot of money to. But if you guys watched my live video, I've been doing a lot of lives. Check them out. I explained that I just think it was a culture thing and I think it was more of a Schottenheimer and Diggs issue than it was more of a just like a defensive play calling thing, which was also terrible, which made Diggs look bad. But anyways, yeah, Eberflus he was just so bad. He was so bad, and I understand you can argue that when he got brought in, he had Micah Parsons, and when he got the job, Micah Parsons was on the contract under not under contract, but he was on the roster. And okay, I get that. And not only is he one of the best edge rushers in the league, he's one of those generational edge rushers where he's just so freaking good. And so you lose that, right? Gone. How do you adapt? I think Eberflus's issue was just I have my scheme and it's my scheme over my scheme and that's what how we find success is fitting the scheme. And it doesn't work. I don't think that works. Look at Dan Quinn a couple years ago, man. When Dan Quinn first got here, what was he notorious for? Cover three in Seattle. One, two corners and a safety in the top. And then you had just a stacked defensive unit. Um, but that was what Dan Quinn was notoriously famous for in Seattle. And then when he came to Dallas as a DC, we didn't have those pieces. And I think he figured it out. He's like, okay, not only that, Micah Parsons turned out to be one a hell of a pick. So you add that on top of everything, he knew what he had and he created the defense that we all remember from those early, 21, 22, 23. Right? Yeah. And so, yeah, because I think Zimmer 24 and then Eberflus 25. So it's tough, man. And he just didn't fit the players. And now, man, this whole gimmick was just tough. It was tough. And I also read reports per like Brian brought us that not Brian brought us, it was Patrick No C Walker. He represents the star. I highly recommend you guys give him a follow on YouTube and Twitter. No C Walker, and he interviews players all the time, and trust me, guys. In the upcoming weeks, as we go into season two, as we get better production, I'll be able to insert like clips and like videos and audio clips of what they're saying, so you guys will have more accurate depictions. But essentially uh, what he saw is just he didn't see any. Eberflus wasn't really a leader of men, and that's tough to call a man. Like people weren't really gonna follow him. Just like, oh, he's a dude, he's a guy, he's there. Um, I mean, when I'm sure Aiden Dirty or all these other coaches that leave in Dallas, they have these heavy emotional impacts. Even Zimmer had a couple of them as well. And well, when Eberflus left, I feel like there's been crickets crickets. Like no one said anything. But and it's tough too. And I also want to add, like, who decided this? Was that a Schottenheimer or a Jerry Jones decision? That's what I'm curious about. I feel like it was a Schottenheimer decision. I feel like Shotty just went up to Jerry and said that he gotta go, man. He's got to leave. And kudos if that is what happened. I'm just a guy on YouTube, man, with a laptop camera. But if that is what happened, I'll tip my hat, Jerry. I respect it because that's something that's we haven't had in forever. A couple quick head coach or not head defensive coordinator coaches that we can bring in. Brian Flores from Minnesota. Of course, he's probably going to get a head coaching job, but fuck, I would love to have Brian Flores here. He's kind of like an upgraded version of Zimmer, but better. I want Stefanski. I think Stefanski from Cleveland. Oh, that he was the old head coach. Oh man, hot doggy. I would love him as a DC, but I don't think that'll happen. I got Jonathan Gannon, the Cardinals head coach. He was with the Super Bowl with the Eagles. Has ties into the East. And maybe who knows? He was also in cahoots with I believe Clayton Adams, which we took from Arizona, who was now our offensive coordinator. And then I seen Jeff Ulbrich, Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator, and Jim Leonard, the Broncos passing game coordinator and assistant head coach. So those are just names off the top of the hat of like, okay, who could we pull and who could we grab from these guys as a jumping off point? But it's still too early because honestly, a lot of these dudes might get head coaching jobs because of what you have the Browns, you have the Titans, you have oh man, the Raiders. Poor Pete Carroll, man. Poor Pete Carroll. That poor bastard didn't have a chance. But you have all these other teams that are now the Cardinals that don't have any head coaches. So a lot of those dudes might fill in there. But, whoever wants to take upon this passion project that is the Dallas Cowboys defense, they got some key pieces. They got Quinn Williams, Kay Clark, and Osa. Donovan Izaraco, and maybe James Houston, Overshown if he's healthy, Shamar James, uh, Kalen Carson, Siobhan Revel, maybe Donovan Wilson or Malik Hooker, because I think we're going to keep either one of the two. But we'll do another video talking about free agents coming up. I just want to drop the bomb on Eberflus, man. This is crazy stuff to happen. Crazy. But yeah, check us out, guys. Hit the like, subscribe. TTF Two Tone Football. Share it for the nation, guys. Appreciate you. Peace. Shout out Kiki. Thank you, Kiki.